Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all well. Hope your day's started well. So I'm just going to go a walk down towards the burn just now. Those of you who are joining me and catch up, hope you find this of interest, and I hope life has been good for you. And good morning to those of you who have just joined me live. I am trying to make my way down to the burn a different way from normal. It's a bit overgrown. Morning, Jacqueline. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. But it is something resembling a path. I'll just change the camera angle. Good morning, Anne. There you go. Lovely picture of a leaf to start the session. Beautiful red stalk as well. Good morning, Margaret. Lovely to see you. Just need to untangle myself from a hawthorn branch. Oh, and we're into a bit of a clearing here. And all of a sudden, it goes from bright and full of life to this quiet, sort of calm. It's really nice and cooler. Still warm though. Lovely moss. Everything's very dry. I'm just going to go down this hill, but look at this. Is that red campion? I can't remember these flowers from one from the other, but growing actually in the tree trunks down there, and it's sprouting up here. And you're literally a high flyer. Look at that though. Is that not beautiful? Good morning, Morag. Good morning, Christina. Morning, Grace. Lovely to see you all. As I just slowly try to make my way down what is really a non-path. We've got the bluebells still with us, sunlight peering through the trees, and beautiful ferns growing taller and taller every day, with more over there. Ferns remind me of my childhood. We had a lot of ferns in the back garden and across the burn, this burn, but a couple of miles down. Listen to that crunch of leaves. Oh, that's cool. And I'm walking slowly, partly because I'm being mindful, but also because I'm going down a slope, so I'm trying to be careful. And here's these leaves now. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful circle? And the other ones just there with a little bit of light on them. And the sound of the birds everywhere. And a plane overhead, my goodness, that's not so common as it once was. I'll just go down here, down to the burn. And the burn's basically a trickle just now. I'll climb over this beautiful uprooted trunk. Look at this though, wow. Such character there, detail. I'll climb over it, and there's some wild garlic. There we go. I was going to say that's a tricky bit past, but I've just stood on the wire. Just bear with me a second while I try and untangle it. That's a bit better. Now I need to bear with me a second. I've got myself in a bit of a tangle. Okay, that's better. So we'll go down onto the burn. The wood pigeon so clear. And blue sky being reflected in the water. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And the white of the wild garlic. And I'll get my foot on hopefully something solid here. Yep, that's good. Didn't give. Always a good thing when you step on something that it doesn't give. Sorry, I've got my microphone. There we go, that's it. That's it settled back. I was holding it there. Apologies. Look at the lovely pattern. Good morning, Catherine. Lovely to see you. Lovely pattern of the waves and the ripples. That kind of zigzag almost. Kind of tartany effect. And there's a beautiful, if you look further along, almost like a straight line. I wonder what's causing that. Looks like it may be one rock after another. I'm going to step just over this little bit to get more central. There we go. I'll go and look at this. This is quite fascinating. And I hope these wee mini wellies don't leak because I'm actually slightly in the water. I think it is. I think it's just one rock after another. Just causing those beautiful little straight line effects. I'll step back a wee bit. Straighter when you look at it from an angle like this. And the sound of the water just trickling now. And of course we have the human negative side of it, but we just ignore that. That's for another time. Cast aside our thoughts. Morning, Maria, lovely to see you, and Eugene. I'm actually in the burn, looking straight along it. I can go over to the other side and see this is where I love these rocks. Look at the detail of that. Isn't that just magnificent? Layer upon layer upon layer, with life growing out of it. It's worthy of the Chelsea Flower Show, or whatever it's formally called. Just sheer beauty, and there's the sunlight playing on that rock there. So this is mostly sight, which of course I've mentioned before is 80% of all we intake through our senses are through the eyes. And isn't that worth seeing through the eyes? And look at the detail as we go up. And it's really embedded in this rock. Absolutely fascinating, absolutely beautiful. How on earth, literally on earth, do these things not only survive, dropped as seeds or acorns or something like that on a rock, but then they turn into these majestic, big, beautiful trees. And still the sound. A wood pigeon a second ago. The burn. And there's the wild garlic all lit up like a display for us. I'll just walk a wee bit along here towards this other really nice formation. I'm walking right in the middle of this burn. Hear me walk on the rocks. And of course, again, human stuff. One day I'll need to come in and get some helpers and just clear up this whole area. I'll just go to this side just now because there's beautiful reflections. Blue sky. And look at the green. Look at the reflection here. Isn't that just awesome? You can actually pick out individual leaves. And here, down here. Almost mesmerising. Difficult to tell the reflection from the rocks and the soil that the water's on. And tiny little ripples as things drop, or insects land on the water surface. Look here. It's tiny. They are such tiny little insects. But you can see them causing little ripples. Yeah, it is like 3D, Anne. Absolutely. Look at this. Beautiful. And all up there. And this burn, this is just a tiny part of it. And it's just a wee burn. But you know, you could probably walk for hours alongside or even on this burn. And we are very, very lucky to live in a country like this that has got so much variety, so much beauty. Well, there's a lot to be said for simplicity as well in nature. I've mentioned before I worked in the Australian desert, West Australian desert, and all I saw was rusty red curves and a peerless kind of blue sky. And wow, it was well worth it. It was astonishing. You hear the bird song all over. Isn't that a beautiful sound? And the sound of the water. And it's quite cool down here. It's not cold in any way compared with up there. You can see the sun kind of dazzling the sky. Just stop and breathe in clear, cool, fresh air. Absorb the sounds. Enjoy the beauty dominated by the trickle of the burn and the white garlic, wild garlic at the other side, and these almost ancient, which they are, ancient rocks, hundreds of millions of years old. Impossible for us to even imagine what that means, hundreds of millions of years old. So I'm going to step back over and climb there. In fact, what I'll do is I'll just wait a minute and say my goodbyes and then clamber up, whichever way I go. I'll just leave you with the sound of the birds and the water, but also those leaves there just being completely lit up. I'll see if I can go in. It doesn't allow me to. It's okay. But the beauty of leaves and then going against the sky. So everyone, have a lovely, lovely day today. If you go out, switch off your thinking cap, switch off your ruminations. Just to absorb experience, just for a few minutes. And you'll gain all the benefits, the peace, the appreciation, the gratitude, the happiness, the contentment. So have a lovely day. I'll be back on this evening, indoors, 8:15. If anybody wants to join me then. Otherwise, thanks very much, and I'll see you again sometime. Gosh, it looks like I'm right in the middle of tropical jungle. Bye now.